Ground Zero is a retro survival horror set in post-apocalyptic South Korea 2 months after a catastrophic meteor strike. The dust has settled, the storms have passed, but what's left hiding in the fog is much worse than anyone could imagine. If you love dark, decaying city vibes of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, or the action combat loop of Dino Crisis 2, this next video is just for you. The main menu already feels old school, simple, moody, and straight to the point. The opening cutscene sets the tone perfectly, the meteor impact, the devastation, and then we are dropped right into the impact zone. It is immediately clear this game was made by someone who understands late 90s horror. Tight corridors, slow pacing, limited resources, and tension that builds naturally instead of relying on cheap jump scares. We play as Seo-yoon, a local special ops agent accompanied by her Canadian partner Evan, who belongs to another response team dispatched to assist the locals. In true survival horror fashion, they split up almost immediately, leaving Evan to guide her mostly over radio communication. Do not expect award-winning voice acting here, but Seo-yoon doesn't feel like a lifeless avatar either. During cutscenes, she reacts, sits down to catch her breath, and moves with believable gestures. Evan, on the other hand, is the sarcastic, dependable type. He's got that Carlos from Resident Evil 3 kind of energy that keeps the dialogue just engaging.
Evan, are you there? I just killed a dog. Actually, 2 dogs.
Yeah, I'm here, Seo-yoon. I'm just in the middle of something right now. Wait a minute. Killed 2 dogs? Were they rabid? Did they attack you? What the fuck happened?
At the start, you are offered 2 main paths to reach the lighthouse. One leading along the coast through the downtown district, while the other is cutting through an abandoned amusement park. Whichever you choose, the design eventually loops back, creating those classic "remember this door" moments every retro horror fan loves. Visually, Ground Zero nails the balance between modern and retro. Fog, film grain, low poly textures, all is there, but enhanced by sharp lighting and smooth animation. But if you want to lean fully into the vintage PS1 aesthetic, you can tweak the settings under the graphics options, just like I did. Controls are straightforward. Traditional fixed camera angles and tank control style movement, you know, the bread and butter of classic survival horror. All is here. Aiming and shooting feels responsive, though it might take a few tries to get used to, as the auto-aim isn't as generous as in older titles, and enemies are noticeably more agile than traditional zombies. The standout fighting mechanic is the critical shot. Hold down a second button while aiming, wait for the timing meter to hit the sweet spot, and release for massive damage and, of course, for ammo savings. After defeating an enemy, you can scan its genome, which converts into genome points, the game's main currency. But more on that later. By the way, there are plenty of weapons to experiment with. I only managed to try out 2, but I can confidently say that after the handgun, the shotgun absolutely shreds, and not just feels, but it is more impactful. The opening beach area serves as a slow introduction, with sparse combat, scattered supplies, and the first tension spike when a dog-like creature emerges from the fog. Then comes the abandoned ship, where you get a sense of how exploration works in this game. Locked doors, keys to find, scattered notes, and well-timed scares that feel earned rather than being just cheap jump scares. The downtown section really opens things up. It's packed with narrow streets, shops, alleyways, and looping shortcuts. Very reminiscent of Resident Evil 3's Raccoon City. This is where the genome trait system is introduced by Evan. He explains the gameplay loop. Kill a creature, scan the info for his team, earn points from it, then spend them at the trading terminal. These shops offer ammo, first aid kit, booster shots, and even a pricey assault rifle right from the start. It's a clever system that encourages smart combat instead of always just running away. Very Dino Crisis 2 at heart. No, YouTube did not broke and your connection is just fine. I stopped the video, but I can make it right. If you like this video and subscribe for more PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 and retro style content, such as this video. I'll give it time. Good boy. Ah, it's fixed it. You do, however, need to be very tactical. The shotgun is powerful but destroys bodies, giving you lower quality samples and thus fewer genome points to spend. For high score farming, the more cleaner pistol kills are the way to go as far as the demo goes. It's a great risk-reward mechanic, a minigame within the game itself. However, I'm curious if, in the full release, farming will be essential for tougher areas and bosses, or if it will remain an optional challenge and a way to play. Ground Zero uses a limited save system as well. Autosaves exist, but they are very rare, which keeps the tension high thankfully. The iconic save room moments are here, complete with the soothing music you would expect, but not every room lets you save immediately. You will need a special limited save device to save your progress, basically the modern version of ink ribbons. The only difference is they are being utilized to activate a save point rather than each of its own offering a save option like in old school Resident Evil. There is also an inventory system for storing items, but every new stash you discover is locked behind a small math puzzle. If you hate puzzles, no worries, you can blow these locks open using a mini explosive. But keep in mind those explosives are rare as well, so in some cases you have to resort and figure out the puzzle by yourself. Ground Zero keeps the classic survival horror puzzle chain alive and very well. Early in the downtown area, your path is blocked by a forklift with some crates parked across the street. To move the crates, you need to find fuel and another key item to manually prime the engine, offering a small but satisfying bit of environmental problem solving. Also, in the very beginning of the downtown area, you stumble upon a gated restaurant that can be forced open by using a pry bar, which you find in the arcade at the very end of the level. So you have to be very aware of your surroundings, as the key items and puzzles often located completely elsewhere on the map, and you may manage to find either of them at different times as well. Inside the restaurant awaits an arcade token for you, which, surprise, you have to use in the arcade on the other side of the map. This again encouraging your sense of exploration and getting familiar with the level, Resident Evil style. Outside the arcade you meet Ada Wong, Isabel, a lone survivor, but who looks suspiciously well prepared. She refuses to come down to chat, which honestly makes sense given the situation, but this short dialogue hints that there is still hope and other survivors may just be out there. The token brings you back to the arcade, where upstairs sits a glowing claw machine. Inside, a key can be found under the flickering lights. Thankfully, the minigame isn't as cruel as a real claw machine. With a single careful grab, you pull out the key, and if you start to grab the rest of the toys within, you also get some extra shotgun shells. Again, a very clever way to reward exploration and make every location feel meaningful. By the way, the key you just found unlocks the side entrance of the arcade, teasing one final unexplored path, before the demo fades to black with that familiar promise. Ground Zero isn't an easy game per se. Ammo is tight, saves are limited, enemies are fast and flank you and even throw projectiles at you, and the inventory space keeps you on the edge. But it's a fair system. Enemy patterns can be learned, and once you master the critical shot and embrace the genome trade gameplay loop, you start climbing the food chain of Busan. Overall, the Ground Zero demo perfectly captures the soul of a true classic survival horror. The atmosphere, the looping level design, the satisfying puzzles, and the scoring system that gives combat real weight. The pacing feels great, the mood is spot on, and if this demo is any indication, The full game is going to be something special. I was Gabe, and I see you in the next one. Until then, keep gaming.
Evan, I just came across a survivor. A woman, maybe Spanish, but she took off after I questioned her.
Oh yeah? Well, maybe you should work on your people skills?